Testing, testing. It's the cats. It's the cats. We're on Intellectual Radio. We're on iHeartRadio, and it's another Thursday, and we here ready to let the cat out the bag. Meow. Yeah, you know what, y'all? Yes, I'm wearing my hat today. This is a bad hair day, and my head is a part of the hairstyle, so get used to it. We'll talk about it later. And you know what? And even though it's not as cold outside today, so I'm really it's not. Like 40 degrees. It's summertime here. It's summer. We went from
don't let the weather fool you, huh?
Well, let me tell you, we went from 1 degree to 40, and I guarantee you, this is summertime. I feel like I could have wore shorts today. But it was just too much snow that was melting.
Ahead, what's going on?
I saw somebody with shorts on. Don't play. I saw somebody in Naperville with shorts on. I guarantee I'm not playing.
No offense, but were they white?
Well, of course they were.
I don't know why, and I ask my white friends this all the time. Why do white folks wear shorts in the wintertime, but in the summertime they wear khaki pants? I don't understand.
That's it. Right. Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for tuning in with us again. I can't make this stuff up, but our show just keep getting better and better. Like
podcast.
Yeah, and for those of you all that don't know, better is a cat's out word, and better is just a lot. Yeah, better is a lot better than better. Yeah, it's like butter.
Better.
Yeah, and you know what? We got so many people that's just saying better. Yes. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, don't touch the dial, especially for those of you all that's in the Maywood, Broadview, Bellwood, Proviso Township area. We have Mayor Sherman Jones on with us today, the mayor of Broadview. This man is like the Obama of Broadview. He has served 8 years, and he got a lot of cats to let out the bag. And I'm gonna tell you something, for those of you all that's around the globe, and maybe you're thinking about running for mayor. Maybe you need to know, what does it take in order to become the mayor of your city? Well, guess what? We're going to let the cat out the bag. So I don't want you guys, like I said, don't go nowhere. If you got to take a quick break, this will be the best time for you to take it. Other than that, stay here. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick this show off like we always do. We got Mr. James J. Hustle in the building.
Yeah, buddy.
We got Miss Patricia Ward.
Praise God.
Look at her. She done, Lord, she done went got saved on us today. Praise God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
I've been saved.
Well, hold it, but yeah, we know. We see you, woman of God. Okay. Amen. And we got Miss Monique in the building.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. So, James.
Yes, ma'am.
You have been busy.
Me?
Yeah, you've been busy. I've been watching you. You've been all over.
Watching me?
Yeah, I've been watching your videos.
You've been floating all over Chicago.
You've been all over Chicago.
I know when fat folks, when we walking, you got on a long coat, it just look like you floating.
You've been floating. James, what's going on?
Nothing much. Every day getting something new. Most of the police know me now. But then you got some assholes out there. They've been bothering me, y'all. They've been bothering me for no reason. But you got some good ones out there and put that out there. But I just been recording a lot of stuff last night. Just missed a kidnap. I think they said the girl was 14 or 15 years old. Somebody hit in the head, tried to drag in the car in California and Van Buren. I had got there when they got it back. So they was quick on their time.
Wow. That's real good. That's real good. Miss Pat Ward, what's going on with you, lady?
Well, I'm just blessed, one woman of God.
I know that's right. Go ahead. I'm with you, girl.
I'm just amazed to be in the land of living. But okay. I am truly blessed. I got off at 7 a.m. and I'm here with the cats. Life is just a blessing.
Okay.
It is a blessing.
It's a blessing. We know that all the time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Miss Monique, what's going on with you, lady?
I don't think anybody really wants to know.
We want to know.
Let the cat out, girl.
Can I
say it's just been
let's just say
some lessons learned this weekend, and that's it.
Jumping over tables.
Okay.
Oh, my bad.
And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys. I'm gonna let just a few cats out the bag, but we got some great people that we've been talking to. And I'm going to throw this name out there. I just had a conversation with Mr. Danny K. Davis, and we got some things that we're going to be doing with Mr. Davis. I'm excited about that. And we also have some amazing sponsors. We talked to one of them just yesterday. I mean, just last week, and he's with the Nike Foundation and also the Jordan Foundation. So I'm telling you, when the Cats is coming out, and when we do, definitely, be ready. And we told you we was coming, so we didn't make this stuff up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick. Well, tell you what, we're not going to take a music break today. We're just going to go ahead and just slide down and bring our mayor in. It's the Cats. We're on Intellectual Radio. We're on iHeartRadio. And we're going to do things not like in the normal today. We're going to do them a little unnormal, but we're going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and bring the mayor on. We're going to slide down here once, and we're going to bring the mayor up. Mayor Sherman Jones, you guys. Yeah, I see you guys here. Hey, lady. I see you, Jimmy. I see you guys. So we're going to go ahead and bring the mayor up. Get ready to ask any questions you have. And we're going to put the spotlight on him. So come on, Mr. Mayor Sherman Jones.
Ooh, Sherman.
That starts.
James, you got a question.
Well, you stay right there.
No, they said ask James why
Go ahead,
the police scared to park them cars and get on foot patrol.
I don't know. You gotta ask them that. I've been trying to figure that out myself.
What you say? You want to say? Just go down one. Monique gonna go over. James gonna come over. We're gonna bring the mayor right here.
You got some that be on them bikes. Some be on them bikes.
That's right. All right. Hey, Mark, I see you. What's going on, Jimmy Robertson? I see you. J. Rob in the building. What's going on, Anthony? I see your cousin Tammy. Hey. All right, you
Y'all could have
guys.
told me I was shiny. Y'all know I got a big nose.
Now, for those of you all that got questions, you can dial us. Pat, would you give them that number, please?
708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953.
Hey, Brad, I see you. Hey, Brad. So again, we got Mr. Mayor Sherman Jones in the building. And Sherman, if you don't mind, we got a tradition here. We first of all need you to give us a meow, a roar, or something, but you're gonna have to let the cat out the bag.
A meow or a roar?
Mm-hmm.
Roar.
Roar. Okay, all right. Mayor.
Yeah, me doing the meow.
That's what I'm talking about.
You better quit playing. Tell us and tell our viewers who you are, where you come from, and actually what you're doing here today.
Well, you demanded that I show up, so you called me a couple of days ago, said I'm doing a radio show and I need you on my show. So you being a friend of mine, I decided to show up. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm a resident of Broadview. I've been in Proviso Township since the '60s. Grew up in Maywood and Broadview and Bellwood area. Graduated from Proviso East and retired as the postmaster of Maywood. Now I'm the mayor of Broadview.
Wow. And not just the mayor of Broadview, you've been sitting there for 8 years. You got some cats to let out. And there's a lot that go on in Broadview. Tell our people exactly, because some people think Broadview is just little old Broadview.
Well, I don't know about little old Broadview, but we made history in 2009 with myself being elected as the first minority mayor ever in Broadview. Broadview historically has been an all-white community growing up. So, that was the first thing, and we came along right behind President Barack Obama. So it's kind of coincidental that my term kind of coincided with his. So it was pretty good. But Broadview's been fortunate. While we've got a lot of issues going on throughout our country and throughout our city of Chicago with homicides, murders, and this and that and the other, I'm proud to let everybody know that since 2009, we've only had 2 homicides in Broadview, one in 2009 and just one a few days ago. And the individuals involved, the assailant and the deceased, were both non-residents of Broadview. So, I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of my police department and proud of how we manage our town.
So you know what? I just gotta interrupt. And let's really put the spotlight on this. With all of the crime that's in the news, Broadview, we're talking about literally not even 20 minutes away, 15 minutes depending on how you're driving from Chicago. You mean to tell me only 1 homicide since when?
2009.
Since 2009. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, tell us this, because it's a lot going on. Tell us what's going on with this upcoming election and who we need to keep our eye on, and let a cat out the bag about the upcoming election.
Yeah, well, I was hospitalized for a couple of months. They had some surgery, and during my absence, we had some outside influences, and those outside influences convinced the people of Broadview, those very people that elected me, to put a term limit on myself, and I'm the only one that's got a term limit, so I won't be eligible to run in this coming election at all. And I'm supporting another candidate, Miss Katrina Thompson, for mayor, and hopefully we'll be successful in our endeavor to get her elected.
Okay, wait a minute. Bag up. We'll rewind because you said that so fast that I think people may have missed that. So you telling me that in the history of mayors being elected, while you were out, some type of bill or referendum was passed?
Well, what they did was they passed out petitions and misled people, telling them that their taxes were going to be tripled, that I was hiring people, paying them enormous amounts of money, and all these other different crazy things in order to convince them that I should be part of term limits. And if you know anything about term limits, it's a Republican initiative. Rauner talks about it. So does our Republican elected officials at the senatorial level and at the representative level. They talk about term limits across the board. And like I said, it's a Republican initiative.
Wow. Okay. So with that being said, you have a time limit now. Now, is there any remedy or anything that could be done to change that, or once it's in and it's too late?
Well, at this point in time, there's nothing we can do about it for this current election. You could potentially repeal it. You'd have to go back through the same process, initiate petitions to the residents and ask for the repeal of it, then put it on a referendum and have it voted on. But that would be something that would have to happen down the road. But at this point in time, I'm the only individual in Proviso Township. I'm the only individual in the area, in the suburban area like this, with a term limit. Even the village trustees in Broadview don't have term limits.
Now I don't understand that one.
Well, it was specifically designed to get me out of office.
Yeah.
And here's what the situation is. In 2009, I inherited a lawsuit. There's an adult use entity that's trying to come to Broadview, and because they've been trying to come to Broadview, and I've been fighting them and been very successful in it, they are funding people to run against me, and they wanted me out. And this, because they didn't think that they could beat me in an election, they lost hands down the last election. Matter of fact, my votes went up. So they decided that, well, we can't beat him in a fair election. Let's see if we can backdoor him and get him out of office. And so that's what they did. They convinced 55% of the people in town to vote for this referendum.
Okay, and you know what? Let's just be clear for those people who just don't understand what was happening. Wasn't that a strip club that they were bringing to Broadview?
Yeah, they're trying to bring a strip club to Broadview, directly across from residential housing, right alongside the expressway. And it's been a big court battle, and we've been prevailing since I've been in office. We've got favorable ruling from the judge in the last court decision. It's been appealed by the strip club, and it's been dragged out past the elections. So my suspicion is that they're trying to get their candidates elected to get it settled after the election.
So you know what? For those people who voted on that petition to get you out of office, and this guy's been doing some. We want to talk about the dollars that's been generated since you've been here, because I just saw a picture where I think it was you and State Rep Chris Welch. I think they was handing you a check or something at one time. So we're going to talk about the dollars that's been generated. That's one thing. But then I also want to make this point. So for those people who voted to keep you off the ballot, now they may look around this next election and have a big old strip club right on the corner of their house with women dancing on a pole and gentlemen coming from around the world coming right here in Broadview, because it's not no small strip joint they talking about. They talking about something major, right?
Yeah, and that's a real possibility.
Okay.
It's a real possibility. Yeah.
Okay.
That may create more crime.
Yeah. Well, that's the argument in court. That's the argument in court. The argument in court that we presented after we got in was of all of the ancillary issues that would come along with an entity like this. If you guys have not been following the Stone Park issue with the nuns, it's the same type of situation. And what they're talking about are the same issues that we brought up in court, which has to deal with illegal activities, including drugs and prostitution and so on and so forth. And with that being said, you're talking about something directly across from people's house where kids come out their front door and they're looking at this entity directly across the street from them. So it's a big issue.
Big question, Mayor. Why is it that they put all those barricades over there? What is that all about?
Well, I put the barricades in. I put the barricades in along the border of Maywood in the area of Broadview called 80 Acres. And the barricades basically surround a grammar school. There's a grammar school that sits between 15th and 14th in Broadview, between 15th and 14th, Roosevelt Grammar School. And what ended up happening in 2009, we ended up having drug dealing and gang banging on the school grounds around these grammar school young kids. And I can't afford to have a police officer stationed over there all day long. We just didn't have the manpower at the time. And most of those drug dealers and gangbangers that we found, they were actually spraying and tagging the school and everything, were not from Broadview. And they were literally traveling from the Maywood area across into Broadview. The second issue about that had to deal with traffic. People trying to avoid the Eisenhower Expressway would be going down those side streets right along adjacent to that very school at speeds of 50 miles an hour, blowing stop signs. And you got little kids out there. So this was a big issue for me as it relates to safety in that little area over there. So we cul-de-saced it off to make it safe for the driving. The buses don't have the problems that they had before with cars blowing stop signs. The kids don't have problems crossing the streets because they don't have crossing guards anymore except at the main streets. So
I feel like a little bit sometimes, I'm cut you off. It seems like a little bit of harassment going on by me living right there. I have seen some things that seem like they were harassing some of the drivers that was coming through.
Well, I don't
myself has been a victim to that.
Well, I don't know if I would call it harassing. I would call it enforcement. Yeah. Because the alleys are not designed to be streetways and throughways, and for people to use the alleys as a street was not part of the program. We put up signs to not drive through the alleys, and there's a lot of people that end up getting tickets for it because we wanted to direct the traffic around the area and not through the area. So, while somebody may consider it harassment, I consider it enforcement, and the people that live there, especially the seniors, consider it protection, because
you know why I said that? Because I have seen people, they speeding. And I've seen the police right there. They didn't get those people.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation. That has to do with officers being held accountable to do their jobs. Okay. And if you got an officer not doing his job, then we got a problem with that. But if I get a call about it, we're going to have a conversation with the chief and the commander and find out why this particular patrolman is not doing what we sent him out there to do. Because that's the only reason for him to be over there in the first place, is to enforce and protect, enforce the rules and protect the residents.
Okay. And, one of the things that I'd like to say about Broadview, and I happen to come from Roosevelt Elementary, so I didn't really realize that that's exactly what you guys were doing, was kind of stopping the drug traffic, and then also the safety of those children, which is very important, because with the expressway being right there, this is not what I heard, it's what I know, is that you could kind of maneuver around and detour, and then anybody in Maywood and some of those areas where we got a lot of little stuff going on, because you could come to Broadview and kind of hide some things, because we felt like Broadview was a place that was not monitored as much. So with you putting those barricades up, it definitely deterred people from doing some things. I have to commend you on that. But I also have to say that I can understand what Monique is talking about as far as feeling some harassment. That's a different topic, and hopefully it could be addressed. Tell me about some of the businesses that's here in Broadview. People don't know about what's happening in Broadview. Tell us some of the businesses.
Wow, we've got quite a few businesses. Since I've been in, Solo Labs came here. Solo Labs is a company that manufactures lotions and things for your skin. They make a lot of water products. And what you don't know is that if you go into a store and you may look at a bunch of different labels for a bunch of different soaps or a bunch of different lotions, they're just merely labels, and a lot of them are made out of Solo Labs right here in Broadview. We've got Mrs. D's Cookie Factory. Mrs. D's Cookies makes, about 3/4 of all the cookies that you're going to eat. A bunch of your labels that you see in your stores are made right out of here, out of Broadview. We've got Mullins Foods. Mullins Foods is one of the largest contractors to McDonald's. They make your dipping sauces, your salad dressings, and things like that. They're in Broadview. We've got Perlo Steel. They make steel bars that are used in construction nationwide. We've got PNC. PNC, they do the sealant that you put on your windows and glasses, and they make specific sealants for high rises and things like that. So when you go into a high rise and you're looking out of a window and you're 100 stories up or 50 stories up, a lot of that ceiling comes directly out of Broadview, and they're a large company in Broadview. So Robert Bosch is a national company. They're in Broadview. Garter Armored Cars is in Broadview. B&T Trucking. So we got 3 major trucking companies in town with over 200 trailers at any point in time in town. So we got the target headquarters for the Proviso Township, Chicagoland areas in Broadview at the Broadview store. So we got a lot of businesses in Broadview. There's even more. I could go on and on.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's a lot. Honestly, I only knew of 2, which was the armored truck company and the trucking company. Other than that, I didn't know the rest were there.
Yeah.
Well, I knew the cookie place was there. I knew.
And I'm fat. I didn't even know the cookie place was there. I'm moving to Broadview.
And they have a retail store in the front. So if you go down 25th, just to the north side of Cermak Road, the cookie factory sits right there. They just did a 50 or 60,000 square foot expansion because they just got 3 more contracts. So, it sits right along Cermak Road. You can't miss it. They got a retail store. Go in there and you can purchase cookies at a discounted rate. They're made right on site.
Okay, and so now for those of you all that's looking for jobs, as you can see, it's a lot of space and opportunity right here in Broadview. So don't look too far. Mayor Jones, and I'm gonna jump back over here to the election, just kind of going off some of the questions. You mentioned who's the candidate that you're supporting. We need to have her here too, but go ahead and give her name again.
Katrina Thompson, and then I will certainly reach out to her, have her contact you, and you guys can get her in the room, and she can tell you about herself. She's been in the area for a long time. She's related to a well-known family in Broadview. She's a member of the Jenkins family out of Maywood and Broadview. So
we know them Jenkins.
Yeah, so she's related to them. She's one of the nieces, and she's a very solid individual, very well spoken, very well read, very well educated, and I think she'll provide good service to the village of Broadview. I really do. And it's unfortunate that our communities have been misled, and our community, when I say our community, the minority community has been misled. We're the only minority community that thrives on nonsense. We thrive on bad things. We don't push each other up and lift each other up when we're doing well. We rather look for the dark side or anything to say something negative about each other. We're the only group of individuals that are like that. And it's just, the testimony of it is all you gotta do is look at the most recent elections in the state of Illinois. You got African-American pastors supporting a Republican governor, and they win because we've been misled and we've been basically lied to in a lot of instances. So, that being said, hopefully we can rally the troops around and get everybody to support this young lady and get her elected in April.
Okay.
I just want to say I met Katrina last week on the 13th at one of the events for Commissioner Richard Morton. And I was also talking to her about coming on the show.
Yeah, that's great. I just, in response to that, I know that during my tenure as mayor, I've been supported by the congressman, by the state rep, by the senator, Senator Lightford, Chris Welch, Danny Davis, and Commissioner Boykin for sure are all supporters of mine. And I do believe that they will be supporters of Ms. Thompson as well.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take just a quick music break. But once again, it's the cat. We're on Intellectual Radio. We're on iHeartRadio. We're Facebook Live. We're not playing with this. This is real. We come here to let the cat out the bag. Meow.
I've been lost, I've been tired, but I still with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Big city life, big city dreams, sound of a city that waits me. So many people living with the blues. So many things that I can tell you. I got this funny feeling that something's going down. I can almost hear the sound going boom, 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 going round. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, seems like no one is happy. People living without a voice. Seems like no one really has a choice. I feel living every day like it's my last, living in the truth I learned from my past. I've been tired, but I'm filled with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Cadillac house, Cadillac dreams, Cadillac world, everybody's name. If you got a problem, money can't solve the government scheming against us, leading crackheads, feeding them is thieving, so just bleeding mamas, screaming all over town. You can hear the sound, boom, 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 going round. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, like this hard, everybody pray like this.
We're back. We're back. It's the cat. We're on Intellectual Radio. We're on iHeartRadio. And we're not making this stuff up. We're really, really making it happen. And what we're doing is we letting the cat out the bag. Right, see, Sherman done caught on.
I figured it out. Let's jump into that major important question.
Okay, so again, for those of you all that's just tuning in, we have the mayor of Broadview here. And when we say the mayor of Broadview, Mayor Sherman Jones, he's already served 8 years. He's the first African-American mayor in the village of Broadview. He's sitting right here on the Cats Out Show. So again, Sherman Jones, welcome to the show. We appreciate you. We can't even make this stuff up. And let me just say this. He's the Obama of Broadview. So that's exactly who he is. Go ahead, Sherman. We just got a few more questions for you.
I don't feel comfortable with being compared to the illustrious President Obama. You know, he's one in a million, and I'm clearly not that. So please don't do that. I will say that I got elected during the same time that he was in office, but there's no comparison to that man.
No, and you know what? Let me just say this here, because I guess when the throne is at your feet, just go ahead and stand on it, and you're looking good standing on it. Mm-hmm. So when I say the Obama of Broadview, I believe that every city, you know, every neighborhood has its stand-up person. It's person that's doing what they need to do for the community, and you've clearly done that, and you got 8 years of track record of doing that. So I'm saying
we've done some great
he is the Obama of Broadview. So again, thank you, thank you. Let me ask you this question, and some people said, ask, how many, for the police officers, how many African-American police officers do we have on force? And if you can kind of
give you the history?
Give us the history.
The first African-American police officer was a guy by the name of Billy Lyles in 1983 or 84. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 African-American police officers. I had the experience and the opportunity to do something really different in Broadview. I hired the first Filipino officer. I hired the first Latino officer. I hired the first 2 female officers ever in the village of Broadview. They have been hired since 2009, along with the African American officers.
Wait a minute, let me just add that. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure people understand. You can't talk that for a reason. So prior to your election, you didn't never had a Filipino officer?
No Filipino, no Latino, no female.
And you hired 2 female officers in Broadview history, Filipino, no Latino. And did you get a chance to hire any African American?
We've hired, since I've been in office, we've also hired at least 1 African American, and I would like to get more, but it's all based on test scores. So we've added 1 more African American since I've been in. And he's pretty good. He's doing well, and I'm proud of that guy. But here again, you know, you got to test, and we have a requirement in Broadview, and I don't know where everybody else's requirements are. You're required to have an associate's degree minimum to even qualify to even take the test in Broadview. So you got to have some kind of educational background, some sound foundation behind you. Those guys getting promoted to the levels of sergeant and commander have got to have additional educational requirements. And we help pay for their education because we believe in investing in our people. So what we do is we make sure that they're educated and know exactly what's going on. So, yeah.
That's a cat out the bag. That's amazing, and definitely, you know, me as a woman, just to know that there was never female officers and all of that took place while you were here that you're almost like the Hillary Clinton now.
No, not that.
No, exactly. That's a whole nother set. Y'all forgive me for that. So, is there anything else that you could just maybe that we've not covered that you could kind of let a cat out the bag?
There's quite a few things. When I got elected, I was elected behind the layoffs of the police and fire department. We brought everybody back. We've made our budget every year. We've operated in surplus the whole time. We inherited almost a $4 million deficit that we wiped out in the first 5 years. We are sitting on a $3 million surplus right now. We have a 5-year plan to resurface every street in town, and we've already in the 3rd year of that. So if you've been through Broadview, you can see where we've got a lot of our streets being resurfaced and being redone, and we've got additional plans for that. We're also trying to regentrify our Roosevelt Road corridor. So if you look at 25th Avenue back to about 18th Avenue, you can see where we cut it out, put in new lights, made additional parking and things of that nature. We brought on 11 new police vehicles, a new fire engine, a new ambulance, all this while managing the budget. And we've also got the contract with the Veterans Administration, Loyola Hospital. We provide the water service for the VA. We provide water service for Loyola. We provide water service for the what is it on Sunlight Road, the Illinois National Guard Armory, plus all of Broadview and Westchester out of the new pumping station that we built on 10th Avenue. We've done quite a few things in Broadview since I've been here, and there's more initiatives. We provided social services and through PLCCA and some other folks. We've also provided services locally. We do senior snow plowing. We've got almost 300 seniors that we plow their snow for, or shovel their snow out of their front doors and front walks. We brought in a snow plow that does the public sidewalk. So when you walk down a public sidewalk after snow, the public sidewalk is done with us plowing it. We created a 50-50 flood control program when we were having the issues with the floods a few years back. Because the area near the creeks are controlled by Cook County, Water Rec, in the state of Illinois, we can't do a whole lot about the creeks. But what I can do is try to help people keep water out of the basins. So we've committed, some of the tax dollars to helping residents, homeowners, those of you that live in your homes, to assist you in putting flood control devices in. We contribute up to $2,500 to each individual home for them to put flood control devices in to protect their own investment. So we're trying to keep the property values up. We don't want our property values to go down. We don't want to have vacant houses in Broadview like there are in some other communities. Boarded up houses, vacant houses, high grass and weeds and things like that. It's not good. So when you drive down the streets of Broadview, the building department, our inspectors, they do some pretty good work because you'll find that the streets are pretty clear, the lawns are cut, the houses are maintained. So there's a minimum amount of vacant houses in Broadview, boarded up houses because of that. We've done pretty good, I think.
Wow.
Sure. You guys plan on putting the noise reduction on the expressway for those that live right in front of the expressway?
Yeah, she's talking about the 290 expansion. The projected expansion goes from the west side of Chicago, I want to believe around Cicero, Laramie area, all the way back to the Hillside Strangler area where they're going to add lanes and add exits. And absolutely, there's a sound barrier through that residential corridor between First Avenue and I want to say 25th Avenue on our side. So there's going to be like a 12-foot wall. So you won't see it. It'll be well maintained. It'll be well manicured and landscaped out.
And we got someone.
Sure. The question he just asked is, how did I start my journey into politics? To be quite honest with you, I was trying to avoid getting involved in this. I come home. I worked for the post office for 31 years, and I've been in Connecticut for the last 2 years prior to coming back to do this. I happened to be home one day, and a lifelong friend of mine came down the alley and said, "Have you seen what's going on in town?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You don't know." I said, "What are you talking about?" So I ended up going to some meetings with some people, and they were talking about the layoffs of the police department, the layoffs of the fire department, and just the general unkempt look of the neighborhood where we had overgrown weeds, houses weren't maintained, and things like that. And we were starting to look like some other communities that we are well aware of. And I said, well, I don't want to do it. I'll try to help. I can help, but I don't want to get involved. So we tried to get somebody else to run, some other individual to run. Ultimately, I ended up running for trustee in 2007, won with about 80% of the vote, sat in as trustee until 2009. Between 2007 and 2009, I tried to convince somebody else to run for mayor because I didn't want to do it. I had a career with the post office. I was in line to get promoted a couple more times. And ultimately, at the 11th hour, just when it's time to put in the petitions, the person didn't want to do it, and there was no alternative. So I just decided, well, I guess I'll do it. So I threw my hat in the bag, and I won in a 3-horse race, getting about 46 or 47% of the vote. So it was just one of those deals where I wasn't trying to do this. I was trying to get somebody else to do this, and ultimately I ended up being the one put on the spot to do it.
Great question.
That's crazy.
And I want to say this because, and we spoke about it earlier, for those people that may be sitting on the fence and want to know how to get started, and I know you talked about your journey, but there are a lot of Sherman Jones that know they have a bigger calling and know that they need to do something. They're trying to push someone else to do it. What would you say to them to kind of push them off the fence and say, no, it's you, not someone else?
We all talk about things a lot. We all say things a lot, but none of us really want to get into the game and play the game. We like to sit in the crowd and either cheer somebody on or boo, as opposed to getting into the game and making a difference. There are a lot of people that have a lot of skills and abilities that just don't want to get involved in politics. They don't want their private lives totally disrupted, because when you get into politics, what happens is everything gets pulled off and the recovery gets pulled off. They investigated me all the way to Washington, D.C. They contacted my bosses and all kinds of other stuff. And, they look into your background and they try to find any speck of dirt that they can on you. And fortunately for me, I lived a pretty clean life. There wasn't anything that they could find. So, here I am. And so ultimately, the attack on me is what we're realizing right now. But those of you that want to get involved in politics, it's a very simple process. You can go to the State of Illinois David Orr's website and get all the information that you need for elections. To give you all the dates, requirements. You can find out the signature requirements, because you have to walk and get signatures on the petitions, what's called election petitions, to be considered for the election. And then you just have to go through the campaign process and convince people that why are you the better candidate for the nation. The David Orr website, David Orr's website. You can just look up David Orr. Just type in David Orr into your browser, and it'll come up.
Okay.
I think I might be running for mayor, yeah. I mean, they can't pull no cover off me. I'm already honest. They know I'm about as honest as it comes. I curse too much. But I'm honest.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we got another question. This is kind of off the radar. Are you married or available?
I'm not married. I'm not available either, though.
Okay. So he's not married and he's not available. It's just that simple. So for those of you all who said, that's a fine man, well, he's already finally taken right about now. Thank you for that. So, Mayor Jones, what we're going to do, and we'll come back with you, we're going to go ahead and take a real fast music break again. It's the Cat's Out Show. And the reason why we're the Cat Out is because we're not afraid to let our cat out the bag. If you do have a question, you do have at least about 1 minute to call in with that question. The number you can reach us at, Pat Ward.
I've been lost, I've been tired, but I feel with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Big city lights, big city dreams, and the sound of the city that wakes me. So many people living with the blues. So many things that I can tell you. I got this funny feeling that something's going down. I can almost hear the sound going boom, 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 going round. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, seems like no one is happy. People living without a voice. Seems like no one really has a choice. I feel free and lost at the same time. Feels like I'm gonna lose my mind. living every day like it's my last, living in the truth I learned from the past. I've been tired, but I'm filled with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Cadillac, house, Cadillac, dreams, Cadillac, world, everybody's the same. If you got a problem, money can't stop the government.
We're back. It's the Cat on Intellectual Radio, on iHeartRadio. And we're here with the mayor of Broadview. Mr. Sherman Jones is in the building. Let me get out the bag. Yeah. So, you know what, we've covered a lot. And I don't know, I'm going to go ahead and drop the mic over to any of the other cats. And if you got any comments or anything that you would like to say, you know, you can go ahead and do so. If not, we're going to kind of close out. Or if you got any comments on your pages, you know, James, J Hustle, Monique.
I don't have no serious questions. You know me.
But go ahead,
I'm still thinking about the strip club.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't even hear about a strip club, you know, trying to be built in the community. You know, honestly, I don't go to strip clubs. I just don't believe in throwing my money. I'm gonna be down there with them picking the money up. While you making it rain, I'm gonna be down there scooping it up with them. So that's all I'm saying.
Okay. So, again, say that name again of the person that you're supporting in this election.
Yeah, I'm supporting a young lady by the name of Katrina Thompson. She's with the People's Party of Broadview, the Broadview People's Party. I'm running on the same slate with her. I'm actually going to be running for village trustee. And the reason that I'm doing this is to support her, number one. And number two, I do think that I can probably still offer the village some kind of assistance and some of the knowledge and information that I have that I might be able to share with her if in fact we're successful in this campaign. So it's the Broadview People's Party headed by Ms. Katrina Thompson, who's the former Park District Director and currently is a library board trustee and a resident of Broadview, single parent of one child who's doing well in school. Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to take the camera off of you for this part because I don't want it to be said that the mayor said it. But if you want to comment on it, then he's free to do so. You know, I was kind of, you know, asking questions about who is actually running for mayor in Broadview for this upcoming election. And I'm going to tell you something. We have a total of 3, and you correct me if I'm wrong, we have a total of 3 African Americans, well, maybe 4, and we have 1 Caucasian female that's running. Let me tell you what the trickery is at. It's that whenever you have that many African Americans running against each other, the vote is always split amongst each other. And I'm not trying to, you know, throw a race card in here, but we see clearly the change that this African American brother has made right here in Broadview. You know, there was not a Filipino police officer. You know, he has women 2 female police officers, and then he hired another African American. There was only a total of 4 African American police officers in the history of Broadview. So we're laying bricks here in the village of Broadview with Mayor Sherman Jones. And for those other African Americans, what I would like to see is that you guys could come together, support the judgment of the current mayor. He's done it for 8 years. You heard what he's done. His book is open. They've literally stripped this man and put him on a stripper pole without his permission. So he's naked sitting here, and he's not even ashamed of it. So why not support somebody that can literally go through what he's been through and still stand up strong and untarnished? And you know, his hair is not even great. So again, I had to throw that out there. I don't know if you want to comment on that, or even if you're in position to. I let the cat out the bag myself. We got total, I'm gonna say it again, 3 African Americans running for mayor against each other. And we have 1 Caucasian female. The votes have already been divided. I say, if we could get together, use the judgment of the current mayor of Broadview, stand behind this mayor, and let's really vote for change. Is there anything you'd like to add? If not, we can shut the cat down.
Yeah, let me clear up a couple of things that you said.
Okay.
First of all, right now you've got 4 African Americans running. 3 African American females and 1 African American male and 1 Caucasian female. Here's the curious thing about these individuals. The Caucasian female and at least two of the African American females share the same attorney. That attorney has also done work for the strip club. Now you figure that out. The other African American candidate, all of their petitions were circulated by another African American who happened to be on the slate with the Caucasian female. So he's on the slate of the Caucasian female in the last election, but he's circulating petitions for her opposition in this election. And if any of you guys remember the Timothy Evans and Sawyer issue in the city of Chicago when they divided up the vote and neither one of them ended up in office, this is the same thing. You got a predominantly African-American minority community, which is about somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 African-American. And the whole plan is to split up the vote in the minority community amongst 4 candidates. The Caucasian candidate, if they amass the larger volume of the vote in the Caucasian community, is going to win by default because all of our votes are divided up the same way our community is divided up. We're divided. We need to solidify ourselves, get behind one candidate and support that one individual. We don't even talk to each other. These candidates don't even talk to each other. And it's unfortunate that there's 3 females and 1 male. And that's where we stand today. So you can figure it out. The 3 of the candidates, the Caucasian female, 2 of the African-American females are represented by the same law firm, who also has a relationship with the strip club owners. There you go.
Yeah. That's a cat for sure. We got Jimmy Robertson from Maywood Fire Department that said, tell the mayor, he says hello, he's supporting.
Hey, tell Jimmy I said, hey, but you know, speaking of the fire department, I want to make one more note to everybody out there. The Broadview fire chief is a Caucasian female. So we have a female fire chief that I hired as well. So just wanted to share that with you. I hired the first female fire chief in the history of Broadview too. So yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So, again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Cat. We cannot appreciate you enough. We continue to let the cat out the bag every now and again. I think Elvis Presley has just shown his head.
That look like
or somebody's head. But anyway, again, it's the Cat.
the guy from Danny Brasco. Danny Brasco. Yeah.
We have officially let our cat out the bag.